It's no secret that Logic has an incredible collection of stock plugins that are bundled with the software, but for me there's one stock plugin that stands out above the rest, and it's kind of hidden away. This plugin has probably made it onto more mixes that I've done recently than any of the other Logic stock plugins, and I think it's often overlooked because people don't really know what it's capable of or that it even exists. So today we're going to take a look at what I think is probably the best stock plugin in Logic Pro, and I'm going to show you 3 unexpected ways that you can use it on your mixes. This plugin is going to save you a ton of time and money on third-party plugins that you don't need. It's going to help you simplify your mixing workflow, and it's ultimately going to help you to get better mixes faster. So let's take a look. I have this track here, which is a kind of indie rock sort of thing, and the vocal sounds pretty good dry, but what I want to do is bring some analog sort of character to it. I want to give it some grit, some warmth, I want to compress it a bit, and I want to clean it up. And I can do this all within one single plugin in Logic. But first, let me play you a bit of the dry vocal, and then we'll see how we're going to do it using this plugin.
I used to think I was the boy. From my shoes up to the aglets on the drawstring of my corduroy.
So you can hear it's already a little bit gritty from the preamp that it was recorded through and the microphone that was used, but I want to enhance that. I want to give it some more character, compress it a lot more, and just make it sound thicker, warmer, and have more dimension to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up an instance of Phat Effects on this channel. And if you're not familiar with Phat Effects, what it is a sort of multi-purpose all-in-one plugin that contains loads of different stuff that looks a bit complicated to begin with, but we're not going to be using the entirety of this plugin because it has this EQ section over here with this bandpass and then a filter, distortion, it has modulation effects, a compressor, a bass enhancer, it even has a limiter built into it. It's got all kinds of stuff going on in it, and it's primarily designed for sort of modulation effects and special effects sort of stuff, I think, but I tend to use this for a different reason. And what I love about this plugin is it's capable of being almost an all-in-one kind of channel strip, and that's what we're going to use it for on these vocals. So as I've been using it lately, I've been compiling some presets, which I'll talk about more later on. And one of my favorite presets is this vocal warmer preset that I've created. And what this does is it enhances the sort of analog feel of a vocal recorded maybe to tape through some analog hardware, and just has a bit more grit and a bit more flavor to it, and that's what I want to bring to this vocal. So let's take a listen to what this is doing. I'm going to go through each module. Let's turn all of these off and I'll introduce it one by one. You can see what a difference each part of this is making. So we're going to start over here with this distortion section. I've got a bit of the dirt enabled and the exciter as well, and what the dirt is almost a kind of tape saturation, soft saturation sort of thing. It's quite subtle. Let's take a listen to what this is doing.
I used to think I was the boy. From my shoes up to the aglets on the drawstring of my corduroy. I'd await each joyful day's return. They'd watch to learn how I could be so very happy.
That's already making it sound way more exciting. It's giving it a bit more edge and a bit more energy. Let's clean it up a bit using this bandpass. So I'm rolling off everything below about 100 hertz here, and that's just going to clean up the low end. Let's see what this bandpass does. This resonance control also gives a bit of a bump in that low frequency. So it's just going to add a bit of warmth as well. It's going to give it like a little, almost like a Pultec style bump as we filter up.
I used to think I was the boy. From my shoes up to the aglets on the drawstring of my corduroy. I'd await each joyful day's return. They'd watch to learn how I could be so very happy. I used to think I was the boy.
Cool, that's cleaning up that low end and it's just giving it a little bit more warmth with that bump. I'm going to turn this high resonance down because we don't need it to be doing any resonance at like 20k. That's just crazy. So now let's compress it and just smooth it out a little bit more. It doesn't need a great deal of compression, I don't think. It just needs to be a little bit more up front. And down here we can select from this list of different compressors, which are all the compressors that are included in the Logic compressor. All of them sound great to me. I'm going to go with the Vintage Opto, which is a kind of LA2A thing. It's not going to be like super fast and like in your face, but it's going to smooth it out. It's going to make it sound a bit thicker and give it a kind of vintage vibe. So let's take a listen to what this is doing.
I used to think I was the boy. From my shoes up to the aglets on the drawstring of my corduroy. I'd await each joyful day's return. They'd watch to learn how I could be so very happy. I used to think I was the boy. From my shoes up to the aglets on the drawstring of my corduroy.
We can also add some other saturation modules in here. This list contains a whole bunch of different distortion modules. I like this soft saturation, so let's push a bit of that in and get an edgier sounding vocal.
I used to think I was the boy. From my shoes up to the aglets on the drawstring of my corduroy. I'd await each joyful day's return. They'd watch to learn how I could be so very happy.
I really like how that's sounding. I think it's given us that analog kind of flavor. But if we want to push this even further and go for something which is like a gritty, distorted version of this vocal, I do have this distorted Vox preset here, which sounds like this.
I used to think I was the boy. From my shoes up to the aglets on the drawstring of my corduroy. I'd await each joyful day's return. They'd watch to learn how I could be so very happy.
It sounds really cool. And what I love about Logic is all of the distortion and saturation plugins that are included with Logic sound really good. And they compete with some of the best, most expensive saturation plugins that you can buy. And all of this is just bundled into one plugin. We've got this incredible sounding selection of distortions. The compressors sound great. The exciter that we can put in there that we had on the previous preset sounds really good. There's just so much that we can do within this singular plugin. So now let's look at using Phat effects on the drums in this mix for the same kind of reason that I want to add some tapey analog sort of style to the drums, enhance them, make them sound bigger, fatter, grittier. And again, we can do this all within this plugin. So what I'm going to do is go and pull up another preset of mine, which is the drums on tape preset. Now, all of the presets that I'm using in this video are included in my Phat Sounds preset pack, which contains 15 unique presets for Phat effects. I'm going to tell you more about that later on, so stick around and check that out. In the meantime, this is what this sounds like on drums. So let's hear the drums without anything on, and then we're just going to enable this preset and see what the preset sounds like straight off the bat. So one of the coolest features of Phat effects was something we didn't use on the vocals, which is this bass enhancer. And this is great for adding this low end weight and this kind of sub depth to the drums. Let's take a listen to this bypass, and then I'll enable this bass enhancer. You can see what a difference this makes just to extending the low end depth of the drum kit. That sounds really cool. It doesn't sound like overinflated either. It sounds quite natural, and it adds a real depth to that kick drum. Let's see what happens if we push the compressor even further. It sounds great. It's edgy, it's dirty, but it sounds deep. And all of this is just happening in one plugin, which is incredible. And the other thing that's great about this plugin is that if you want to move around modules and you want, say, the compressor to come first in this chain of processing, all you need to do is just drag the compressor to the start down the bottom here, and now the compressor is going to be the first thing in the chain. Or if you want all of the distortion to happen first, or you want, say for example, the bass enhancer to be the first thing that happens, and then that's feeding the compressor, and then you can create some kind of pumping with the compressor. That's easy to do. Just by dragging all of this around, you can reorder this whole chain almost as if it was a whole chain of plugins, and it's all within one window. So the last thing that I want to show you is how we can use Phat effects in a more creative way to transform the guitar sound in this track. We have this nylon string acoustic guitar, which sounds pretty cool, but it's just recorded directly in. There's nothing going on the processing, but we're going to use Phat effects to shape it into this sort of lo-fi guitar tone that's perfect for that sort of trippy indie soul sort of thing. So I have this lo-fi direct guitar preset that I've made. I'm going to go through each module and add in these effects so you can see what difference it's making and how we can shape this into something really interesting and cool. So first we're going to start with this band pass here. Gives it a kind of filtered, underwatery, lo-fi kind of sound. Then let's bring in a little bit of distortion, just a tiny amount of tube distortion here. Just gives it a little bit of edge and thickness. Then we're going to move to the mod effects module, which we've not looked at yet. And this is going to add in some modulation effects, some kind of chorusy sound. Sounds really cool. Check this out. And if we put that into stereo mode, then it becomes this widener, kind of chorus widening sound. Then let's compress it. I'm using the classic VCA compressor this time. Sounds so good. And if we want to take it even further, then we just send it to a reverb or something like that, give it a bit of space and a bit of ambience. And so that's just a quick overview of Phat effects and what it's capable of. But if you want to dive deeper into this and you really want to get the most out of it on your mixes, then you can check out my brand new preset pack for Phat effects called Phat Sounds, which is available right now. This pack contains 15 custom, completely unique presets that I've created from real mixes, real sessions, things that I've just been doing over the last few months. And I've gone, wait, Phat effects is incredible. Let me save these presets and I can just bring them up at any time. And it's saving me so much time. It's getting me great sounds every time. And I'm not spending any money on third-party plugins to do it because it's all within the Phat effects plugin. So if you want to be more efficient and you want to unlock more power in Logic Pro and ultimately get better sounds, you can check out my Phat Sounds preset pack for Phat effects on the link in the description below right now. I've also included a discount code for you as well so you can get a bit of money off. So go and check that out right now. But before you go, please do give this video a thumbs up. If you enjoyed it, do subscribe, drop me a comment below. Let me know what you think of Phat effects and how you're using it on your mixes. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time.